For years, the joke about Chinese cars was the inside. Hard plastic, screens that lagged behind your finger, switchgear that felt like it came off a washing machine. The cabin was usually why reviewers called them copies. Then the spec sheets started arriving. A dashboard screen 35.4 inches wide, 4 LiDAR sensors, massage in every seat, front and back. Charging that adds 200 kilometers in 10 minutes. And a car that switches on the air conditioning in your house while you're still 20 minutes away. 8 things you can buy in a Chinese car today that you cannot get in most Western cars at any price. Making these takes a while, so if you're finding this useful, hit subscribe. The last 2 on this list are the ones that made me read the spec sheet twice. Number 1. The screen. The car in most of these shots is the Avatar 12, built by Changan with Huawei and CATL. Its dashboard is one panoramic display running 35.4 inches from one side of the cabin to the other in 4K with a separate 15.6-inch touchscreen underneath it for everything else. Go and look at the television in your living room. In most homes, that set measures somewhere between 32 and 43 inches. The dashboard is in that range. Mercedes does build a bigger one. The hyperscreen in the EQS spans 56 inches, and it's standard equipment, not an option. The EQS also starts at $99,900 before you add the destination charge. Number 2. 4 LiDAR sensors. LiDAR fires invisible laser pulses and builds a moving 3-dimensional map of everything around the car, in the dark, in rain, through fog. The Avatar carries 4, one 96-line unit in the front bumper, and 3 solid-state units on the front fenders and the rear bumper. No blind spot in any direction. The Western comparison stops being close right about here. Mercedes fits 1 LiDAR in the radiator grille, and for the 2026 model year in America, it's replacing its Level 3 Drive Pilot system with a Level 2 one. Volvo went further than that. It has pulled LiDAR out of the EX90 and the ES90 completely from the 2026 model year, after its supplier failed to deliver on the contract. So the gap here isn't 1 sensor or 2. In parts of the Western market, the number has gone to 0, while the Chinese number went to 4. Number 3. Massage in every seat. Not the driver's seat, every seat. The front pair get ventilation, heating, and massage, and on the top trim, there's 0 gravity chairs with 14 ways of adjustment. The rear bench gets ventilation, heating, and massage too, with roughly a meter of legroom behind the front seats. BMW does extend massage into the second row. You'll find it on the 7 Series, the i7, and the X7. Those are cars where the person in the back seat is the entire reason the model exists. On the Avatar, it turns up on a car, costing a fraction of one. Number 4. Frameless doors. All 4 of them. A frameless door has no metal frame around the glass, so when the window drops, there is nothing left standing above the sill. It costs real money to engineer because the glass now has to seal against the body instead of against a frame, and the body has to be stiff enough that it still seals after 3 years of potholes. That's why it's normally a 2-door feature on cars that cost a lot more. The Avatar has it on all 4. Above the base trim, the doors pull themselves shut electrically, and on the top version they open and close on their own. Number 5. The grille that isn't a grille. Every car built in the last 100 years has had an opening at the front to push air onto a radiator. Electric cars don't have a radiator in the same sense, so the opening turned into decoration. Most Western brands kept it anyway and made it louder. BMW made its kidney grills enormous. Mercedes turned its into a lit panel with a star pattern in it. The Avatar keeps one small active intake low down in the bumper, where you can't see it, and deletes everything above. What's left is a smooth sculpted face and headlights like thin glowing blades. Nothing on the front of that car says radiator. Number 6. 800 volt charging, standard on every version. Doubling the voltage lets you push the same power through thinner, lighter cable, which is the whole reason a car can take on a serious chunk of range in the time it takes to use a service station toilet and buy a coffee. On the Avatar, 10 minutes on a fast charger is worth about 200 kilometers. The West got here first, to be fair. Porsche put 800 volt architecture into the Taycan in 2019, and Hyundai brought it to normal money with the Ioniq 5 in 2021. The difference is where it sits on the order form. On the Avatar, it's standard on the cheapest car in the range. Not an option box, not a top trim upgrade. Those first 6 are the ones a spec sheet can explain. The last 2 are a different kind of decision. Number 7. There is no rear window. None. Where the glass should be, the Avatar has solid bodywork. Cameras on the outside feed a live picture to a display sitting where your rear view mirror would normally hang, and every version of the car is built this way. The first reaction is that it's a gimmick. Then you look at the back of the car, and the roof runs from the windscreen to the tail in one unbroken curve, because nothing had to be flattened to make room for glass. One Western manufacturer has tried it. The Polestar 4 deleted its rear window too, and reviewers went after it hard. They reported eye strain, motion sickness, and the specific complaint that you're switching from a 100-foot view down the road to a screen a foot from your face. The counter-argument came from the same reviews though. The camera gives you a much wider field of view, and in heavy rain, it beats glass outright. So this one is genuinely arguable. It's also on every single one sold, which tells you which way that argument went in China. And the last one isn't really about the car. Number 8. The car talks to your house. This one belongs to Xiaomi, the phone company that started building cars in 2024. Its SU7 runs the same operating system as its phones and its home appliances, so the car sits on the same network as the kettle. In practice, that means on the drive home you tell the car to start the air conditioning, run the vacuum, and put the hallway lights on, and it does it. Not through a third-party app with a login. Those are Xiaomi devices on Xiaomi software, answering a Xiaomi voice assistant. Your car probably connects to your phone. This one connects to your dishwasher. So add it up. A 35.4-inch 4K dashboard, 4 LiDAR sensors, massage in all 4 seats, frameless doors, 800-volt charging is standard, no rear window, a car wired into your house. Now guess the price. The 4 LiDAR edition starts at 269,900 yuan, which is about $37,800. The fully loaded version, every single thing in this video, tops out at 429,900 yuan, around $59,000. For comparison, the average new vehicle sold in the United States in June 2026 went for $49,758. Not a luxury car, the average one. A mid-sized crossover, a well-optioned Camry, whatever your neighbor just financed. The loaded Avatar is about $9,000 more than that average. The base one is about $12,000 less. Now, before you go hunting for an importer, the catches are real. You almost certainly can't buy one. Tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles run past 100% in the United States, and Canada can reach the same, which doubles the price and erases the entire story. There's no dealer network, no trained mechanics, no parts shelf, and the price only works in China. That is a domestic figure, set in the most brutal car market on earth, where more than 400 companies have already gone under since 2018, underpricing each other to stay alive. The point isn't that you can walk into a showroom on Saturday and buy this. The point is that somebody can build it, with all of it in the car, and sell it at a profit for less than the average American pays for a crossover. That's the part the industry is actually reacting to. For 100 years, a feature arrived at the top of the market and took 10 years to reach the bottom. Air conditioning did it. Anti-lock brakes did it. Heated seats did it. New technology was expensive first and cheap later, and everybody planned their model ranges around that. LiDAR is where the order broke. It was a luxury sensor. BYD now sells a Seagull with a roof-mounted LiDAR from about $13,400, while Volvo has removed LiDAR from an EX90 that starts at $76,695. So the sensor is now standing in the cheapest car on the lot and missing from a $76,000 one, and nobody in the industry had a plan for that. And the Avatar isn't the ceiling either. Chinese brands are already fitting screens up to 65 inches, backseat displays at 43 inches, refrigerators, and seats that fold flat into a bed. The 8 things in this video are the conservative end of the catalog. So here's my question for you. Out of those 8, which one would you actually want in your own car tomorrow? And don't say the screen, everyone says the screen. Pick a different one and tell me why.